Every morning, before you say a word, before you check your phone, before you pour your coffee, your Rottweiler already knows. Not guesses. Knows. It has been doing this since the first morning you brought it home, quietly gathering information about you in ways that your closest friends never could. And the strangest part is not that it can read you. The strangest part is that it has been doing it this whole time and you never noticed. Your Rottweiler woke up this morning and immediately began scanning you. Not staring. Scanning. There is a difference. It tracked the tension in your shoulders. It clocked the pace of your footsteps through the hallway. It registered the sound of your exhale before you even reached the kitchen. By the time you looked down at it, it had already decided what kind of morning this was going to be. How is that possible? And why does a dog that weighs more than most grown children need to monitor your emotional state before sunrise? The answer reaches back further than dogs. It reaches back to wolves. Alexandra Horowitz, a cognitive scientist at Barnard College and one of the leading researchers in canine perception, has spent years documenting what she calls the dog's attentional capacity. In her research, she found that dogs do not simply react to human behavior. They anticipate it. They build what she describes as a working model of each person they live with, a kind of internal map of that person's emotional patterns, physical rhythms, and behavioral tendencies. Your Rottweiler is not reacting to your mood. It is predicting it. Think about what that means. Your dog has been studying you every single day, building a profile of who you are and how you move through the world. It knows your calm mornings from your anxious ones. It knows the difference between the way you walk when you are late for something and the way you walk when you have nowhere to be. It knows what your face looks like when you are pretending to be fine, and it figured all of this out without you ever teaching it. Rottweilers in particular were bred for centuries to work in close partnership with humans. They drove cattle across long distances. They guarded. They pulled carts for butchers through German market towns. For hundreds of years, a Rottweiler's survival depended entirely on its ability to read the human next to it, to know when to move, when to hold, when to push forward, and when to wait. The dogs who could not read people did not last. The dogs who could became the ancestors of the animal sleeping at your feet right now. This is not behavior that was trained into your dog. It was selected into it across generations. But what exactly is your Rottweiler reading in the morning? A 2016 study published in Biology Letters by researchers at the University of Lincoln and the University of Sao Paulo found that dogs can integrate emotional information from both the face and the voice of a human to form a coherent emotional judgment. They are not just reading your expression. They are not just listening to your tone. They are combining those signals and making a unified assessment of your internal state. This study was among the first to demonstrate that this kind of cross-modal emotional recognition was not uniquely human. And Rottweilers, with their history of working alongside people, are exceptionally tuned to this process. Your dog reads your cortisol levels in your sweat. It reads the microtension in your jaw. It reads the rhythm of your breathing. It reads your heart rate through the vibrations in your footsteps on the floor. Research from the University of Naples published in 2022 confirmed that dogs can smell emotional states, distinguishing fear and happiness through chemical compounds released through human skin, even when the person's face and body language showed no visible signs of distress. You can hide your feelings from the people around you. You cannot hide them from your Rottweiler. So what does it do with that information? This is the part most owners never consider. Your Rottweiler does not just observe your emotional state and file it away. It responds to it, and it does so before you have given it any instruction. On the mornings when your cortisol is elevated, when your body is flooded with the quiet chemistry of stress, your Rottweiler may press its side against your leg as you stand at the counter. It may follow you more closely than usual. It may position itself between you and the door. These are not random behaviors. They are calibrated responses to what your dog has already read in you. Brian Hare, an evolutionary anthropologist at Duke University and founder of the Duke Canine Cognition Center, describes domestic dogs as uniquely adapted to human social cognition. In his work, Hare found that dogs have evolved a form of social intelligence that in some measurable ways surpasses that of chimpanzees, our closest genetic relatives. Dogs understand pointing, they follow gaze, they seek eye contact, specifically to read human intention. And Rottweilers, given their working history, bring a particular intensity to this social monitoring. Your dog is not just a companion living in your house. It is a social intelligence that has co-evolved alongside humans for somewhere between 15 and 40,000 years, shaped by the long and intricate process of becoming indispensable to you. Every morning, that process continues. There is something else worth sitting with. The emotional attunement your Rottweiler has developed is not passive. It is effortful. Studies using EEG and neuroimaging in dogs have shown elevated activity in regions associated with social processing when dogs observe human faces displaying emotion. Your dog is not glancing at you and moving on. It is actively working to understand what you are feeling. It is devoting neural resources to the task of reading you. And it does this every single day without being asked, without reward, simply because understanding you is something it needs to do. Ask yourself honestly, how many humans in your life give you that level of attention? The Rottweiler has a reputation that does not always match reality. People see size and confidence and assume distance. But owners of Rottweilers will tell you something different. They will tell you that this dog is one of the most emotionally perceptive animals they have ever lived with, that it seems to always know, that on the hard days it is already there before you reach out for it. That is not coincidence. That is not luck. That is the product of thousands of years of dogs and humans learning to read each other, compressed into one animal that wakes up every morning and quietly decides what you need before you know it yourself. Tomorrow morning, when you walk into the kitchen and your Rottweiler lifts its head and looks at you, understand what is actually happening in that moment. It is not waiting to see what you will do. It is telling you without a single sound that it already knows how you are doing. It knew the moment you woke up. It has always known. And it has been carrying that knowledge gently, faithfully, every morning of its life with you, long before you ever spoke a word.